Okay, I think we can start. So again, I want to wish you a good morning and thank you so much for being with us today. So I'm sharing my screen very quickly to bring you through the agenda. This is the 7th meeting of the NINA Soil Partnership. It will take place today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central European time, so basically Rome time. And it consists of the following. Well, today, as usual, we will hear from the countries, so what's happening in the country and what is happening within the GSP, especially on those activities of regional interest. Otherwise, tomorrow it's dedicated to defining our work plan for the coming years. And we structure it by pillars, but this is actually the last time that we do it by pillar, because I don't know if you are informed about it, but the GSP is actually revising its frame of action, let's say, and we are slowly moving out of the pillars. We will focus more on areas of work. So this might be the last time that we talk about pillars as we know them. Okay, but again, tomorrow it will be the time to a bit like discuss our work plan for the future. I will also give you some updates on the implementation of the TCP RAB 3802. This is the regional project that we have and that 12 countries in the region applied for. So we are implementing it in 12 countries. And we'll close the day with an overview on the status of the World Soil Resources report. That it will be provided by Ms. Rafla Attia, that is a member of the editorial board. Surprise of the day is that at the end of today, our colleague from the communication team, Ms. Isabel Verbeke, will present you some material that we prepared for, let's say, introducing the focal points to the GSP and their role. We put it at the end of the day because there are no new focal points in the partnership. So it's more for your information and in case you have a feedback. But also she will be informing you on the establishment and updating of the National Soil Partnership web pages, which link back to the establishment of national soil partnerships. So now, maybe before we start really, because usually I always forget, we can turn all our cameras on and make a big smile so that we take a group picture. Filippo, please tell us when you are ready.
Waiting for the last participants to turn on the camera. Okay, big smile. Okay, I think it's fine.
Thank you very much, Filippo. Now I would like to give the floor to the chair of the NINA Soil Partnership, Mr. Rashid Moussaddeq, for his opening remark. Rashid, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Lucrezia and Filippo and all colleagues from Secretariat of GSP for supporting this event and also for all work done until now. I am glad to see some faces from my colleagues. Since some years we didn't meet due to COVID, and I hope now things start to be more normal and we can meet again, I hope, in coming months. Really, we miss this kind of meeting. We will discuss and we between us, and I think it's important to say how we can start again meeting. I think face to face to discuss the problem of our region. And believe me, I also want to say that as contributing in the last report of the IPCC of climate change, we find that this region, NINA region, is one of the hotspots. And what you are doing here in soil and soil management, sustainable soil management, believe me, it could be part of solutions. of this problem and challenges that area will face. What we are doing for each one in his country, yes, it's voluntary, but believe me, it's something that will help at least next generation to develop some sustainable practices and tools to sustain our soil, which is non-renewable resources. That's why I'm really glad to say that we have reached some achievement. We still have to work to be also in line with some goals. And the work that we are doing now, as I said by my colleague Lucrezia, about the new framework of GSP for next 8 years, it's that we try just to focus mainly on products than pillars, and we are looking to develop some to reinforce some networks like soil salinity networks, Glossland, and others. And I think we are in good way to be in link with what we are doing in other regions. And I think, Nina, while we have some political issues, that the area, the region is facing, but I'm sure that we can at least achieve some goals and to be in line with other regions like, Asia and all the countries that we have. So again, I want to thank you all for all effort that you have done. Yes, it was very difficult period due to this COVID, and we didn't meet as we want to do as we did in the past. But I'm sure that we can come up by the end by raising the awareness about sustaining our soil in the region where this resources is rare and scarce. Thank you, Lucrezia and Filippo, and we will be more than glad to follow this assembly before the international assembly that we will have in coming months. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rashid, also for mentioning the new GSP action framework that I actually mentioned while reviewing the agenda. I have to apologize on behalf of the GSP secretary, Mr. Ronald Vargas, because he cannot be with us today since he is sick. So he deeply apologized for not being with us. But again, he asked to remind you all about this new GSP action framework and also about the upcoming plenary assembly that will take place at the end of May and at which you are all invited. Okay, so that's, as you know, the plenary assembly is the highest decision-making body of the GSP, and the focal points, country representative, GSP partners are all invited to attend and express their opinion in there very freely. And this year we will indeed discuss and review the way the GSP should proceed in terms of organizing the work and implementing the work in the coming years. So also all these parts on the pillars of action. So thank you so much, Rashid. Now I will move forward with the next item in the agenda that is actually with me, and it's an update on what is happening in the GSP, focusing especially on those activities of regional interest. Allow me again, please, to share my screen, and I will start the presentation. Okay, so I didn't organize it in pillars anymore, but I organized it in topic. The first topic that I would like to report you about refers to soil governance and this soil legs. You might remember this item because I presented it also last year. And soil legs is basically the GSP tool on soil governance. It aims to facilitate access to information on the existing legal instruments in force, but it's also an online global database on soil protection and soil degradation prevention legal instruments. Basically, it's a compilation of legislations from the different countries, And the idea is that we keep it updated. We monitor progresses in national legislations, but also by having it online, we motivate countries to learn from each other experience, no? So that maybe they can replicate some good legislative examples in place in other countries. In terms of activities and actions that we kindly invite you as national focal points to take, we kindly ask you to respond to the questionnaire that is available at this link for basically including information on your legislations, information that maybe are missing or that refer to new legislations in place. Also indicate which legal instruments are not longer valid, and classify by SoilX keywords. We would also like to invite you to, or your experts, to please contribute to the regional legal analysis and also support the update and growth of SoilX. Another thing that we would like to ask you for is to promote this tool at the country level. So please advertise it within your ministry, because as I said, it's a good way to learn from other countries' experiences. And other activities that you will hear more about tomorrow, it's the Global Soil Doctor programs that we are currently implementing in pilot countries. Again, this is something I presented also last year. As you might recall, that the Global Soil Doctor program is a farmers-to-farmers training program that aims to build the capacity of farmers on soils and sustainable soil management, but also to support national extension services. So it has direct benefits also to the budget of the government, let's say. Our objective in the long term is to support a self-sufficient system that will promote good practices on sustainable soil management and optimize available national resources. What we provide is, well, some educational material, including posters, a soil testing kit that mainly consists in visual assessment and also visual identities, so that these soil doctors can really come out now when we are in the field and are easily to recognize. Information on the contact person for these activities are here below, but they will have the opportunity to better introduce themselves tomorrow. Because as I told you, we started already to implement the program in pilot countries in all regions. The first step to implement the program is that of identifying and promoting institutions. So there are terms of reference for this, so a list of criteria for the selection of the promoter that also define its role and highlight the benefits that they will get out of this activity. And thereafter, there is also a registration form for formalizing the voluntary collaboration between the GSP and the promoter. So this is the very first step to take if you wish to implement the soil doctors in your country. I sent you an email about it, actually a couple of emails about it some time ago. I will send another follow-up email in case you wish to basically apply for implementing this project. And please, again, remember that for implementing this activity, you need to identify a promoter. I would like to move into the topic of black soil. So look a bit into what happened within the international network on black soils that you might recall having been established some year ago. And the current members of the network are those countries that stated to have black soils according to the definition of black soils that is on screen. The idea behind this network is that of providing a platform for knowledge sharing for countries with black soils. So activities focus on this. At present, there are only three countries in MENA that belong to the network. These are Morocco, Iraq, and Syria. So the request that the coordinator of this network would like to bring to your attention is, first of all, if you have black soils, please register to the network. Thereafter, again, identify black soils in the NINA region according to the definition, so that we can also include your country, and then zoom in a bit more at the national level and include the black soils in the global black soil distribution map. Agree and support the development of an international agreement towards black soils conservation, which will be proposed during the 10th plenary assembly. That this is the big meeting that I just advertised, the one that will take place in May. And also, the coordinator of this network would like to invite resource partners to invest on capacity development on soil information. Looking at salt-affected soils, there were many activities taking place also in response to the implementation of the Global Symposium on Salt-Affected Soil that took place last year. So I will start from the International Network on Salt-Affected Soils. This network operates through 4 working groups that you see on screen. One focus on assessment of salt-affected soils, so basically deals with mapping, assessing, and monitoring activities. Another one focus on sustainable soil management, so practices and policies in relation to the management of salt-affected soils. The third working group focus on halofit agriculture and salt-tolerant crops, so food production. And the fourth one on water, so integrated soil and water management under saline sodic conditions. The coordinator for this working group kindly asked us to bring to your attention the existence of this network and these working groups, and to invite you to join the network and the working groups if you feel like contributing to this work. More information on the International Network of Salt-Affected Soils can be retrieved at the link on screen. Secondly, as I mentioned, last year there was a global symposium on salt-affected soils, and we are in the process of publishing the outcome document of this symposium. The main recommendations around which the work plan of the GSP on salt-affected soils will be oriented and shaped around are those on screen. I will not read them all, but you can read them yourself, and I will make this presentation available to you all by email, and we will also publish it online. Third activity related to salt-affected soils is the completion of a questionnaire on the status of monitoring and management salt-affected soils. So please contact first my colleague Maria Koniushkova at the email address you see on screen. Again, we will do a follow-up by email, so do not worry to miss anything. And please complete the questionnaire. Again, this is very important to shape the work of the GSP on the topic. Another activity, a very big activity I would like to report you about, is the one on digital soil mapping. As you know, the GSP is very active in producing global maps that builds on national maps. So we invest a lot in capacity development at the national level to produce these global products. The first map I would like to tell you about is the one on soil organic carbon sequestration potential. At present, only 4 countries submitted their national soil organic carbon sequestration potential maps. These are Oman, Palestine, Sudan, and the United Arab Emirates. Therefore, the request is for the missing countries to please submit your map as soon as possible. Especially the request is made to Iran, Lebanon, Morocco, Syria, Tunisia, and Yemen. Please note that we are supporting countries in producing and generating these maps also through the implementation of the TCP project, the one that I will present in more details tomorrow. So as action needed, as I said, you are please encouraged to encourage your experts working on this map to submit it as soon as possible, but also to submit the request for support in case these are needed to my colleague Isabel Luotto, that is actually the one coordinating all this work within the GSP Digital Soil Mapping team. Again, please report on progresses and seek technical support as needed. Then another map that that we are working on at present is the one on salt-affected soils. In this regard, a regional training was held in person in 2019 and was attended by 25 participants from 14 countries. If I remember correctly, this was basically the last training that we managed to implement, and it took place in Tunisia. But another regional training under the NINA TCP project was held in 2022 and was attended by 27 experts from 8 countries. Now, as you can see, compared to the training that we had in 2019, we had a larger number of participants, but a lower number of countries. And this might be a problem because we would like all countries to submit and be supported on the preparation of this map. So again, please reach out to the colleagues that are working on these maps and ask for support as needed. In some cases, they are also available to provide country-specific training, but please discuss this with them. In terms of submission, by March 2022, 16 countries have submitted their maps, and then these were included in the global salt-affected soil map. National experts who are working or haven't yet started to work on this map should, in this case, reach out to Cristiano Muto, that is another of our digital soil mapping experts. And as you can see on screen, there is a map of countries that did not submit their map at present. These are the ones in orange. But again, tomorrow, my colleague Isabel Luotto will go a bit more into the details of this work. So you will also be available, you will also be able to ask her for questions. Another map we are working on and that we mentioned when we discussed the international network on black soil is the global black soil distribution map. So black soils, as you know, are the world's most productive and fertile soils, making them the world's food basket. So they must be safeguarded. So together with the GSP and the international network of black soils, we are implementing this work on mapping these soils. And in order to know their spatial distribution, we developed a methodology, a technical manual, and delivered international training to assist the IMDS member countries to map the distribution of black soils. On screen, you see the current status of development of this map. And in terms of milestones, well, we delivered a technical manual and international training. A global report on the status of black soils of the world is being produced and will be delivered by May 23rd. So basically, we are going to launch this publication at the GSP Plenary Assembly. Those of you that did not submit your contribution to this document, to this report yet, are kindly urged to send it to my colleague Yushin Tong as soon as possible, because we are really finalizing and preparing this publication for the launch. At present, only one NINA country has submitted a national black soil map, and this country is Syria. So we still miss Iraq, if I remember well, and Morocco. Another international network I would like to talk to you about that strongly relates to mapping is the INSI, so the International Network of Soil Information Institutions, that you might know is the network responsible for preparing all technical documents related to the preparation of these global maps, but also responsible for the establishment of the global soil information system. So in this case, the request that my colleagues working on INSEE and on digital soil mapping ask me to make to you is to please identify and nominate national experts to support the efficient implementation of the seed activities, provide access to soil geographic information in order to populate the products of the Global Soil Information System, GLOSIS, under specified conditions, and support the process by providing overall guidance and advising on matters related to funding and implementation of actions. Again, I would like to invite you to please make sure that your country has at least one representative in INSEE. It's very important that all countries are represented in INSEE because the work of this network have direct impacts on, well, on your country in terms of the activities we ask you to implement and the modality by which we ask you to implement. Now, if you think about how maps are prepared, the type of data that are used, and so on. So here at the link on screen, you can confirm your current representative in INSEE or update it as needed. Countries that still have to nominate their expert in INSEE are Egypt, Kuwait, Libya, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. And you can do the submission at these other, the submission of your nominee for INSEE at the following link. Now I would like to talk to you about the Global Soil Laboratory Network Glossolan, that, as you might know, it's something that myself and Filippo manage directly. You might recall that the network was established in 2017 to harmonize soil laboratory methods and data and to build the capacity of laboratories in soil analysis. We have 3+1 major areas of work. The first one relates to quality assurance and quality control, and in this regard, we are implementing a global PT proficiency testing that is reaching 240 laboratories in 109 countries. So this is our big achievement of the year. We are very proud of it. The second major area of work is the harmonization of standard operating procedures and the provision of trainings on their implementation. And these also include activities on health and safety and equipment use and maintenance. And indeed, the third area of work of Glossolan focus on equipment. We procure equipment to laboratories in need. We are doing our best to establish a donation and bartering system. And under this area of work, we also work on innovative technologies and therefore on soil spectroscopy. The Glossolan initiative on soil spectroscopy falls under this third area of work. The fourth area of work of Glossolan relates to the work of its twin network, that is INFA, the International Network on Fertilizer Analysis. At present, Glossolan counts on the support of 827 laboratories from 151 countries. We are very proud of it because we are present in basically all countries of the world except the one that you see in yellow, but that we are working to involve. How we operate? Well, at the global level, we have Glossolan. At the regional level, we have a regional soil laboratory network. And then at the national level, we are working very hard with the national reference laboratories to establish national soil laboratory networks, the ultimate level of implementation of Glossolan work. The regional soil laboratory network for the Near East and North Africa is called NINALab, and you will hear more about it from the chair of NINALab tomorrow. To conclude the part on Glossolan, I would like to just list some activities for which we kindly ask your support. The first one is to motivate laboratories in your country to join Glossolan and thereafter NINALab. We don't work only with laboratories that do soil chemistry, but also with laboratories that do soil physics, that analyze pollutants, that do soil biological analysis, and so on. So we look for a large variety of laboratories that do a large variety of soil analysis. Secondly, we would like to encourage national laboratories to participate to Glossolan and NINALAB meetings and trainings and to global and regional proficiency tests. I take the freedom to inform you that at present we are implementing this global proficiency test, but our hope is to implement a regional proficiency test right after that we conclude this global PT. So the two regional PTs that we have planned to implement are those for Africa and for the Near East and North Africa. The third things we would like to ask for your support is to support the establishment of your national soil laboratory network and the organization of national proficiency tests. Why? Because as you could see, Glossolan has a large number of members, over 800, but we don't have the capacity to provide the soil samples with reference to the implementation of proficiency tests to all these laboratories. So we are in need to receive the support of the national reference laboratories and the national soil laboratory networks to reach all our members. Therefore, to organize national proficiency tests. Ultimately, we would like to ask your support to facilitate the translation of Glossolan material. These include publication, video, subtitles, posters, SOPs, and everything basically that we produce, including the web pages in your local language. We can do it, but we cannot do it alone because we don't speak the language mostly. So we kindly ask for your support in doing this translation work, of course, to the extent you find it useful, no? So for example, if a local language is dominant in your country and there is really the need to have the material translated in that language to have the material implemented. As I anticipated, Glossolan has a twin network that focuses on fertilizers. This is called the International Network on Fertilizer Analysis, was established by the end of 2020, and mainly works on three topics. The first one is the harmonization of methodologies for fertilizer analysis. The second one is capacity building and strengthening of laboratory capacities. And the third one relates to governance, policy, and regulation. This is an overview of the members of INFA at present. At present, the network has 154 members operating in more than 80 countries, but only 14 laboratories from the Near East and North Africa joined the network. On the right side of the screen, you also see the participation of laboratories in NINA in each of the three working groups that I presented in the previous slide. The kind request that the coordinator of this network is making to the Near East and North African Soil Partnership is to please encourage laboratories that do fertilizer analysis and other stakeholders in the topic to please register to INFA and implement agreed activities, including harmonization, policy, and regulations. The second things that the coordinator would like to ask you for is to facilitate the future work on the proficiency testing. Basically, INFA aims to do what we are doing in Glossolan, but with fertilizers. So to send a same sample of fertilizer to all laboratories in the network and ask them to analyze it to see what is the variation in the measurement. And ultimately, they kindly ask you to facilitate the search for data and info in terms of regulatory frameworks. The eighth topic I would like to bring to your attention relates to soil biodiversity. And in this regard, to the establishment of a new network within the GSP, that is the International Network of Soil Biodiversity. This network is called NetSob, and aims to bring soil biodiversity experts and existing initiatives together in order to become the human talent that contributes to the implementation of the Global Soil Biodiversity Observatory, GLOSOB. This observatory aims to monitor and forecast the condition of soil biodiversity and soil health, and will serve as a framework for developing policies, promoting good practices, and developing national capacities. The overall goal of NetSob was to promote the sustainable use and conservation of soil biodiversity through the activities that you see on screen, like the provision of human talent for the implementation, coordination of GLOSOB, the provision of reliable evidence to support better decision-making, strengthening the knowledge about soil biodiversity, contributing to the development of internationally accepted biological indicators, contributing to the monitoring of soil biodiversity status and loss, contributing to promoting actions to increase the sustainable use of soil biodiversity and the overall soil health, contributing to the adoption of good practices that would enhance availability and safety of food, and ultimately identifying knowledge gaps and foster investment and cooperation in soil biodiversity research. This is an overview of how the network is structured. So as you can see, you have a chair, you have the link with the Convention of Biological Diversity, but also with the Global Soil Biodiversity Initiative. You have the 4 working groups, and each working group has a vice chair, an alternate chair, and the scientific committee. The kind request that the coordinator of this network is making to you is to please participate in the online survey and join the NetSob. So also in this case, there will be an online survey that we will send to you by email. And also the coordinator, but also the chair and the steering committee of the network would welcome soil biodiversity experts in the working groups, and especially those that can contribute to the harmonization and writing of standard operating procedures on micro, meso, and macrofauna. And all those experts that overall have an interest in soil biodiversity. This is an overview of the response to the questionnaire that was previously distributed within the different regions. As you can see, the contribution to the NINA region to this survey was very slim. So we will send you the survey again because soil biodiversity, as you know, is a critical parameter to soil fertility. To conclude, I would like to talk about soil pollution. So this is something that we initiated relatively recently. We did some work in the previous year that led to the publication of a global assessment on soil pollution. But in terms of implementing activities on the ground, we are starting now. So there are 3 activities on soil pollution that can be of your interest. The first one refers to the writing of technical guidelines for assessing, mapping, monitoring, and reporting soil pollution. So authors can contribute to the different chapters by contacting my colleague Sergius Ustinov at the email address on screen. The second one relates to the launch of the International Network on Soil Pollution. This is a new network that we are about to launch, and that will be structured likely like the other ones we have now, with working groups, and we'll have a specific work plan. Ultimately, we are also establishing pilot site studies to assess and manage or remediate contaminated agricultural soil. So my colleague Natalia Rodriguez is in charge of establishing these pilot sites. In case you have any site to suggest for the implementation of these activities, you are very welcome to contact her at the email address on screen. This is just an highlight on the International Network on Soil Pollution that has the overall aim of stopping soil pollution and achieve the global goal of zero pollution. The network will likely be launched in April this year, and we work to improve knowledge on the full cycle of soil pollution, strengthen technical capacity and legislative frameworks for the prevention of soil pollution, and the promotion and to promote the exchange of experiences and technologies for the sustainable management and remediation of polluted soils. So institutions and individuals can join the network and contribute to its work plan. In terms of pilot site projects to manage, remediate contaminated agricultural soils, what my colleague is looking for is are agricultural areas contaminated or that may be contaminated by heavy metals due to agricultural practices, for example, that relate to the use of cadmium-rich fertilizer. The project will support national and local governments to develop a methodology to perform risk assessment and define which practices can be adopted to reduce the availability of heavy metals in soil, and hence reduce the uptake by plants and the contamination of the food chain. Candidate countries should have basic information like those related to hydrogeology, agricultural practices, and so on, and the laboratory capacity to analyze heavy metals. And again, here it comes the request to you to please invite laboratories that do pollutants analysis to register in Glossolan. Sorry, I talked a lot, but I hope to have also informed you a lot. This was my last slide. And in case you have any question, I'm available to answer them in the chat, or please raise your hand. If there are no questions, because as I mentioned, some of the things I presented now will be discussed again tomorrow, but in more details, like the soil doctors, the TCP project, all the part on the mapping activities and so on. So you will also have the opportunity to discuss with my colleagues in charge of specific topics. Just in case, please use the chat or raise your hand, we will give you the floor. If there are no questions, I will give the floor to my colleague Filippo for moderating the next item. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lucrezia. Let's see if there's any remark from the audience, for the participants. Again, if you have any comment or question to the presentation given by Lucrezia, you can raise your hand or write in the chat. Well, if there is no comment, I would like to move forward to the next item of the agenda, that is the national updates on soils, in which basically country focal points have the chance to present what took place in their countries since the last time we met during this last year, during the meeting of the National Partnership, to update other colleagues of what is happening in the country about the 5 pillars of actions, and would be a nice chance to share initiatives and that can be replicated in other countries as well. Before giving the floor to the first presenter, I see Rashid, you have the hands up, maybe you want to talk.
Okay, thank you, Filippo.
Yes.
To say a word about what Ms. Lucrezia just presented. That colleagues have to know that the new framework of the GSP for the next decade, it will be mainly focusing on products, not on pillars. That's why we are moving we try to move from what we have, pillar 1, pillar 2 to something like soil network on soil salinity, biology, and so on, and Glossolan network, and that's why maybe we will find yourself maybe involved in some network, and maybe you can invite other colleagues to join other network. This is what we need to do and to shift. Maybe after the next General Assembly will come up with clear idea, but I think that Nina could be well represented in this on these networks, and you know, share the knowledge from region to region, which is also very interesting issues. So I stop here, but thanks again to GSP Secretariats for the whole work done until now, and really we appreciate the collaboration from colleagues from different countries, and we still need to motivate others to deliver you know, some products to be you know, achieving some goals for our region. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rashid, for your remarks. I see Imad Ganma from Palestine has the hand up. Imad, do you want to take the floor?
Yes, good morning. Actually,
Please.
many thanks for your presentation and for Lucrezia and my colleague Rashid. It is again, it is a big chance to meet you after maybe two years. Actually, I have a question regarding the black soil. Maybe Lucrezia or my colleague Rashid or another participant can answer me. If we can consider the vertisoil, it's a very fertile soil, as a black soil or not?
My suggestion is that I send you the email address of my colleague in the chat, and you ask him directly, because I know that there was a long discussion on what soil should be included in the definition and in this network. So my suggestion is that you direct your question directly to Yushin. I will write his email in the chat box.
But a quick answer: if it's a vertisoil, it's Chernozem, and they have this, you know, color that it's black, and you know, what we call it the chroma. Some countries propose it for the black soil, but as Lucrezia suggests, you can, for example, take what you have as soil description for your vertisoil, because there is black vertisoil and there is also yellow, and you can just take this and share it with I think our colleague from GSP Secretariat, and he will inform you if it's possible or not. Tom, yeah, his name is Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our colleagues from Syria, they have already proposed their soil. I think it's also similar to vertisoil, and he can also help you if you need more detail on that. Thank you.
Rashid, and I see Lucrezia already put in the chat the email address of our colleagues Yushin Tong. You can contact him to clarify the if vertisoils can be included in this network or as they are somehow related. Is there any more question on this first part? Don't see any hand up. Well, as I was mentioning, next item is about sharing experience, sharing good practices, and basically sharing what is happening in your country about sustainable soil management and over the 5 pillars of action. And as Lucrezia mentioned, and as also stressed by Rashid, this will be the last time we use this kind of scheme to present the activities in the country, as we will move from pillars to areas of work, basically on soil threats. Therefore, now we'd like to give the floor to the first country. We will proceed in alphabetic order to present. I don't know if I didn't see representatives from Algeria before, but I don't know if they are connected now. Is there anyone from Algeria? Or Mr. Sadek? Majed Sadek is here, but I don't see his name in the list of participants.
No, he is not here. No.
Okay, good. Well, sorry, maybe he didn't reply our invitation, but we will try to catch up later. From Bahrain as well, I don't think it is here, the representative from Bahrain, Mr. Al-Serouki. Neither, I don't saw his name. From Iran, sorry, from Egypt first, Mr. Hala Hilbabli. I don't see anyone from Egypt, but maybe they connect recently.
No,
No, neither. Sorry for that.
Filippo, I suggest,
Please.
because we have these three countries that are maybe others, maybe we can say if they can, link later, but we can start with the colleagues that are now with us. And maybe if they are not with us today, we can find a room for having their presentation for tomorrow. If they have,
if they will join, we'll be happy to see the right. The point is that they didn't reply to our invitation when we contact them for this meeting. So I don't know if they have connection problem or if they didn't receive the emails. We will further investigate. But yes, I think we can start with those present today.
They confirm their participation.
No, this is the issue. No, this is the issue. They didn't confirm. This is why I was afraid that they didn't join today as well.
Okay.
So maybe we can proceed with the next country in the list. That is Iran. I don't know if there is Mr. Mizravand is present or someone else from Iran. Otherwise, we'll proceed from Iraq because I saw Miss Salman here.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes. Good afternoon. Many thanks, Filippo. Good afternoon to all the specialists on Rome and every country in the NENA region. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We can see the presentation. Thanks.
Okay, it's clear.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. We will start with the main activities implemented under Pillar 1. As you know, after implementation, a plan of regional plan of the NENA soil partnership towards sustainable management of soil resource, which concern on the 5th pillars of GSP, especially harmonization method of soil description, sampling and analysis, land suitability, and all of this activity continues until December 2020. And the many members participate in this plan, including my country. Another plan protocol of the assessment of sustainable soil management, which developed by GSP and its ITPS at the 8th session of the GSP Plenary Assembly in June 2020, which concern on the activity of voluntary guidelines for sustainable soil management. So we implementation at the national level proposed approach, organization of national multi-stakeholder workshops include mulching, laser leveling, zero tillage, crop residue on soil service, water harvesting to capture water, forest tolerance, salinity. And attend the 8th GSP plenary on September 2020, a virtual meeting. On this meeting concern on the NENA governance on 2021 and to 2023. We select the NENA chair and vice chair for North Africa and Near East, and the specialist chair for each pillar. And the geographic coverage of the network of salt-affected soil, including NENA region, the governance of this network, and the working group from ITPS, including one member from my country. About soil doctor, coordination with the Directorate of Agriculture Extension and Training, build farmers' knowledge ability through extension activity and training. And training capacity building of the workers in agriculture in the government, and also transfer new agriculture technology through cooperation with universities and research center. Provide information in this directory by website and social media, TV and radio program, publication, extension article. This is the web page on Facebook for this directory. Implemented many training courses about the good agriculture practices for seed producer, for greenhouse, water desalination system, renewable energy system, and so on. Another activity contributing nomination for each of King Bamble World Soil Day and the Jelinka World Soil Prize for 2021. Also joined the event of World Soil Day 2021 official celebration on December. Participating and nominated national specialists in the following topic: life and soil biodiversity, soil pollution in the NENA country, soil fertility, water harvesting for addressing soil erosion, conservation, agriculture, and carbon sequestration. And we nominated one to two specialists for each topic. Some activity of this topic: for soil fertility, we implemented national survey on fertilizer use and management on December 2021. We select the page of Arabic language for this survey, and attend the second meeting of the International Network on Fertilizer Analysis on June 2021. This network concern on importance of this network and why do we need it, work plan, governance, and election of chair and vice chair. Also received a small report which done by Talal Soil Fertility and Implementation of Sustainable Soil Management to post soil productivity, and send some notes about it to GSP Secretary. Attend the global on soil biodiversity, attend the global symposium on soil biodiversity on April 2021. Participated in the global symposium on soil affected soil, which held on October 2021. On this symposium, our specialist from Iraq present a presentation for the soil salinity in my country, which concern on factors responsible for the accumulation of salt in soil in general, then reasons of salinization of soil in Iraq. There is a natural factor and human factors. The impact of salt affected soil on productivity of the soil. About water harvesting, we received a small short paper for water erosion in the NENA region, which include the best practice to prevent soil erosion, including water harvesting, which contains a description of erosion types in NENA region, factors affecting erosion, and some suggested method to control erosion applied in the NENA region. And our colleague in Iraq have some notes of it and send it to the GSP secretary. For soil pollution, We attend the additional board for the Global Assessment Soil Pollution Report in April 2021, and attend the launch which address towards zero pollution of Global Assessment of Soil Pollution Conference in June 2021. On Pillar 4, about Soil Atlas of Soil, attend workshop on modeling and mapping soil organic carbon potential in the framework of global soil organic carbon sequestration potential map on May 2021, starting to take shape as FAO member countries began sharing their result and main finding. The global soil organic sequestration modeling and mapping exercise to enable countries to draw important conclusion regarding to potential of soil. This is our national map of the for soil resources. Under TCP RAB project, attend mapping salt-affected soil in the NINA regional training workshop on February 2022, virtual meeting about the map of the modification of the map of soil salinity, and this is our national soil salinity. And about the national map of the soil organic carbon. This is our national map. Registration on the 5th additional board meeting, which will be held on May in this year, which its objectives endorsement of the maps and related text, review of the text in the atlas, plan the next step, including the launch event of the atlas. Under Pillar 4, the main activities about Glossland, we have many virtual meeting, establishing some of them establishing the review panels to do the endorsement of the global saline land of standard operation procedure, drafting of this on soil or nitrogen Kildal method, and our colleague Sadiq from our country, and took place on meeting held on February 2021, subgroup discussion data saving, working group meeting on April 2021, a questionnaire for member of Glossland from the Near East and North Africa on March 2021, which concern on particle size distribution, exchangeable base and CEC by ammonium acetate, microbial biomass, carbon and nitrogen by chloroform, fumigation, extraction. First spectroscopy group 3 meeting, data saving and archiving on March 2021. First meeting of SG4 cross calibration for spectral exchange on March 2021. Working group meeting on association standard protocol and scheme for measuring soil spectroscopy on March 2021. First meeting on SG2 thermal operational scheme on March also 25th March 2021. Working group meeting was held on April, technical discussion and evaluation by measurement protocols. A questionnaire on harmonizing process of the standard operation procedure in May 2021, which concern on particle size distribution by each of pipette and hydrometer method, moisture content by gravimetric method, particulate organic carbon by physical fractionation, total elements by digestion. This includes total heavy metal, exchangeable base, and CEC by ammonium acetate, available micronutrient extraction using DTPA, and also macro and micro nutrient. The second GSP spectroscopy group 3 meeting, data saving also and archiving on June 2021. Second meeting of SG2 thermal operational scheme on June 2021. SG meeting held on 17th June 2021. Second meeting of SG4 cross calibration for spectral exchange, optical and thermal on 22nd of June 2021. Participated on June 2021 about agricultural topsoil properties, the Italian test cases and progress reporting of all SG activities. Meeting on 13th September 2021, completed a questionnaire of standard operation procedure harmonized by Glossland on September 2021. Participated in the second NINA lab meeting on October in the framework global soil laboratory network activity to update the global member from Near East and North Africa and activity to discuss the position of NINA lab on the 5th Glossland meeting on November 2021. The Brazilian Soil Spectral Library expression for scientific to society service on October 2021. Preparing for the proficiency test on which held on October 2021. Participated in measuring reflectance of undisturbed soil survey in the field under laboratory quality. This is a protocol to assess soil properties that are sensitive to the soil sealing phenomena on October 2021. The second also, maybe is it the last one, the second plenary meeting on soil spectroscopy on 2 to 4 November 2021. Many thanks for your attention and listening for my respect.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Iman. Thanks for the nice presentation, the nice comprehensive presentation of all of the activities implemented in your country. I was wondering if colleagues from Jordan are present, Ahmad El-Kuda or Bayan El-Fawri, if they're present now to the meeting, because I didn't see them before. Otherwise, we can move forward to the next country, that is Kuwait. I saw Mrs. Buresk that is present to this meeting. Yes, you can present.
1 minute, please.
Thanks.
Okay. First, good afternoon. I would like to thank you for the invitation to present and share the recently completed soil-related activities in Kuwait at the 7th NINA Soil Partnership Meeting. I'm Dr. Hana Aburazg, a research scientist at Desert Agriculture and Ecosystem Programs of Environment and Life Sciences Research Center of Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. I'm also national focal point for UN. Well, since the time given to share soil-related activities in Kuwait is 5 minutes, I will now share our activities briefly. If you need more information, I will be more than happy to provide. Now, regarding the soil management, Kuwait is a desert country with scarce water and arable land resources to meet food demand for its ever-growing population. The soils are sandy and infertile. These sandy soils have low moisture and nutrient capacities, leading to high level of water and fertilizers used for crop production. In addition, there is a huge agriculture waste which end in landfill. An effort was made to recycle agricultural waste, save water, and intensify forage production in Kuwait. We recycled agricultural waste into valuable compost, biochar, and biochar-based biofertilizers. We tested these amendments for maize forage production, and we were able to save 40% water and increase forage yield by 49% as compared to control treatment without the addition of organic amendment and with 100% irrigation level. Awareness and rising, a salinity management training was conducted during 23 to 26 January 2022 as a virtual format. Salinity is considered major abiotic stress to crop production and impacting food security. While globally 1.5 million hectares of farmland is abandoned and going out of production due to salt-induced farm degradation. Another estimate recognized globally 2,000 hectares loss of farm land on daily basis. In Kuwait, salinity is also showing impact on crop production as the farmers have started complaining and they need immediate solution to manage salinity in the farm to improve farm productivity. The training was completed by giving 14 lectures and 12 sessions covering many salinity-related issues and their solutions. Pillar 3, research and continuous effort to recycle agricultural residue into resource for soil health improvement. Biochar-based organic soil conditioner, bioorganic, was prepared and tested for alpha crops in the fresh biomass production compared to control treatment without bioorganic soil conditioner application. And due to its unique crop intensification in May 2020 to recycle agricultural residue and for long-time soil health improvement for crop intensification, in early 2020, Kuwait Biochar Initiative, KBI, was started at national level and registered with International Biochar Initiative national outreach of Kuwait farming community to save input through biochar use to intensify agriculture for food security. KBI mission is to provide platform to potential biochar stakeholders to support safe and economical use of biochar. KBI promise is with the support of Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. We will reach farmers in Kuwait to educate and transfer biochar production and use technologies in the next 5 years. We also publish KBI newsletters on a quarterly basis and have larger distribution locally and internationally. Harmonization. In an effort to harmonize soil analysis on physical and chemical aspects at national level, the SOPs were compiled into 2 manuals, that is Methods Manual for Soil Chemistry Laboratory and Methods Manual for Soil Physics Laboratory, and we use the latest methods have been included in these 2 manuals. Thank you for listening.
Well, Dr. Burezk, I think it was a nice presentation covering all activities in your country. If there is any question to the presentation given by colleagues, if you want to know more about what they presented, you are more than welcome to write your comments in the chat. And I'm pretty sure all participants today are more than happy to clarify and to go more in details on the items they present. Next country in my list is Lebanon. I saw Mrs. Fatima Beidoun was present. Fatima, are you there? Colleagues from Lebanon.
Yes, I'm here. Just open the file
Okay,
from my,
great.
because I cannot open it from here. Yeah. I just make a little bit summary on what's going on in the project right now. Oh, wait. But I cannot how to share my screen.
Do you want?
I send
if you want,
what is going on in the TC
if you want, you can send the presentation to me and I will share it. But you have to send to me because I didn't receive it already.
How to do?
Fatima, if you want, you can send the presentation to me and I will share it from my screen.
Yeah.
I will write my email address in the chat.
Yeah. Just
Send to me. In the meantime, maybe we can proceed with the next country, and then
yes.
And then in the meantime, you can send the presentation to me, and then you will present just after the following country. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Thanks. So in the meantime, while Fatima sending me the presentation, I would like to give the floor to Morocco. So I think it's over to you, Rashid, for your presentation.
Yeah. How to?
Okay, I will try. Share the screen. You see it?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, colleagues. I will make a small presentation for Morocco. What are the updates on soil under the GSP? For Pillar 1, so I will mainly go to the, the major achievement to implement some soil sustainable management practices scaling out to area with high risk soil degradation. As you know, in Morocco and similar to many countries in MENA, we have like semi-arid system, and Morocco we have more than 4 or 5 million hectares under cereal-based system, but those areas are the soil are not in in good situation, and we have a lot of problem with the land degradation. Thanks to GSP that help us to rise this situation for our decision makers. And based on this result of situation of soil, and we promote the first national program in the country, and the Ministry of Agriculture adopts this program, which will be to outscale the conservation agriculture for 1 million hectares for next decade. So I think this is the major achievement that we achieved. We use the data that we collect from different sources to share this with our decision makers. The picture here you see is our Prime Minister now, and I was glad to share with him that the situation of soil, climate change, and others are not, sustainable anymore. And we explained that we need to move to some sustainable soil management like CA, conservation agriculture. From that, Ministry of Agriculture launched this new operation, 1 million hectares, which is around 25% of our cereal land in the country. So this is, I think, one major achievement that I can say that it's more related to Pillar 1. For Pillar 2, we again, thanks to the GSP to develop this, can I say now, national year or national day of soil Soil Day, World Day, and within this we invite different stakeholders, mainly from the ministry and other participants from the country, to share with them the situation of soil in the country and to explain why we need to move our way of doing things in terms of soil management. So the celebration of this year, we try to invite the kind of key stakeholders. My key message here for my colleagues, let's to be more offensive, I can say the word. Let's to talk directly to the stakeholder, the main stakeholders, the decision makers, because I find that in past year we are more working with researchers and you know some stakeholders, but sometimes we need also to reach out to these decision makers and to give them the real message that if we don't take care about soil, maybe we will not have enough for our next generation. So I think we have to be more, can I say, more clear about the key message that we need to share with these decision makers. And this Soil Day, it's World Soil Day, is a great event, and we try to do it also through the media with radio event, and we did this. We are also collaborating with the Moroccan Soil Society, which is also helping us to promote this kind of message that needed to be developed, but also to be in local languages. We have also collaborated to develop this policy brief for soils. My colleagues, Dr. Iman already highlighted some of them. We developed the same for Morocco, and we are now working on translating this to to local languages. We have also developed something very amusing this year. We developed an agenda for the whole year. The agenda January, February, March, but we do it under soil items, and we share it with all partners. Maybe if I can share with you an example, just to say that we took the main message that developed under GSP program, and we put them for the can I say monthly agenda, and we share it with all stakeholders, partners, and they find it very informative and interesting. I think this is also and we also thanks to our colleagues from FAO, because we invite some of them to contribute in this event, and they come and they do a clear message to our decision makers. That's why I say it's important to involve decision makers to be more aware about the item of soil sustainable management. You know that our colleagues that work in water management are more, can I say, more experienced in sharing the key messages. I think we have to do the same, and believe me, when you repeat it again, different time, at least by the end, you can reach that you can change the policy, and the management of soil could be more sustainable for future. For pillar 3, while it's mainly looking to conduct to research, we try to develop like a soil research and development database with all partners working on these issues in Morocco, with our colleagues from not only from the ministry, but also from the universities. We have plenty of PhD masters working on that. We can share with you all this paper that we developed. We contribute also to the Soil Biodiversity Conference recently last year with the some presentation and some data on enzyme and activities, which is new in country, and it is something that we will start now developing a big program on soil biodiversity, mainly using the metagenomic and other items. And we have a PhD's study starting this year on these items. We are trying also to identify key stakeholders and potential donors for soil doctor program in Morocco. This is also interesting items that we need to develop in the country, and I think we need to work with some stakeholders that can help to develop some items related to this research development activities. We are trying also to promote multi-stakeholders discussion to share knowledge for launching joint project. I think with this year, we are glad that PRIMA, which is Mediterranean and European research project, are focusing on soil as items, and we receive a lot of can I say call to join some network, and I also shared some contacts from my colleagues to be part of some PRIMA project that it will be linked to soil management. My colleagues from Tunisia, Algeria, I think Libya, and also others. I give them I give to the colleagues from Europe the name of our colleagues that could be involved in this PRIMA, and maybe they can help to develop some products that in line with GSP mandate. We also try to promote systematic contacts and cooperation between bodies from national, regional, and international policymakers. I think it's important. And we organize during the event of Soil World Day in December, a national conference on soil health with many participants, and it was interesting to listen from others how they think about soil, what is their main problem, and we come up with some key messages from this conference. For Pillar 4, we still finalizing the soil information system. Morocco finalize it, and also we do the same for NINA. We get some fund from CG, and we developed this map for NINA region. And maybe this is a product that we can share it with colleagues. Just to say what are the similarities between our different region in the different soil in the region, and we can find that there is many similarities between soil type in the region. We have developed the same for Morocco, and we thanks again for GSP for helping us for this training to develop the national soil organic carbon maps, and we developed this for the Morocco after this training, and this is the first soil organic carbon map in Morocco that we are still trying to finalize, but it's almost finalizing, that we will share it with the GSP Secretariat soon. As I said, when it comes to some key messages, we get some funding from the Moroccan Agency for Oasis to develop the first soil fertility maps for Oasis area in Morocco. And this is developed with INRA and other colleagues. But this is very alarming, because we get some information that in this area we have low organic matter and soil are not sustainable as we expect. We have also some area with high salinity. So this is the first soil fertility maps that we develop and under this study. And as I said, it was launched when we present a concept note to this Moroccan Agency for Oasis, and they finance it, and we are still finalizing this study for other region in Oasis area of Morocco. We have also colleagues, scientists participating in training by GSP on global soil organic carbon, soil salinity, and again, I want to thank GSP Secretariat not only for organizing these items and training, but also they do something very interesting, is they do recording of this training that we share it with other partners. If they are not able to participate, they can follow this recording of training, and they can try to produce a product. And if they have any problem, you can be in contact with our colleagues like Christian, Omoto, and also Youssef. For Pillar 5, maybe my colleague Dr. Zouahri, he will talk more about this Pillar 5, about mainly for the NINA Lab. He's the chair of NINA Lab, and also for NASO Lab. But I think this is a very interesting items. Just yesterday, we received an expert that working with us to say how we can improve our champion laboratories in Morocco, and we are trying also to develop a good network for soil lab in Morocco, and to be to be more in line with what you are developing for in other regions. So I think this is a good achievement, and thanks again for GSP Secretariat to help us to finalize these issues related to NASO Lab, and we are part of this INFA, and we try to follow, and sometimes I can say this word, the GSP Secretariat are sometimes more, can I say, running, if you can see the word, try to catch up what they are proposing, because developing network and following some achievement is important, but sometimes we have some difficulties to follow the new initiative, but we try to be more can I say more in line with what GSP try to promote. And we, for example, for NASO Lab, we try also to see if there is some lab that could be part of INFA also. This is also a great achievement if we can have to achieve some network, for example, for soil pollutions and others. But for us, as I said, there is some real achievement, and after this 10 years of working with GSP, we are more than glad to say that some message about soil sustainability is start to be more clear for our decision makers. And for example, for the new green generation plan that Morocco, the new strategy that Ministry of Agriculture launched for next decade, it is the first time that we have this. There is one component, we call it soil conservation, that now is clear in this new strategy launched by the Ministry of Agriculture for next decade. So, which means that finally we achieved to give some guidance to the new policy for next decade, that we need also to take care on our soil. Yes, water is important, but also soil need to be taken into account as non-renewable resources. I think by this, I thank you again, our colleagues from GSP Secretariat, and I'm glad that we achieved some result, with your support. Thank you.
Mr. Rashid Mutadek, from the nice presentation and overview of the activities and the involvement of different Moroccan institutions in the different activities of GSP. I'm still didn't receive the email from Fatma about the presentation, so I kindly ask her to send to me. I received a request from Syrian colleagues to present now because they have issues with electricity. So if colleagues from Palestine agree, I would like to give first the floor to colleagues from Syria to present the updates on their country, and then I will give the floor to Palestine.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
They can present.
Thanks a lot, Imad. So I will now give the floor to Mrs. Riham Zaran from Syria, who will present on behalf of Mr. Manal Al-Zubi. Please, Riham.
Yes, good morning for all of our colleagues. Please, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Share my screen first. Is it clear?
Just a second, it's loading. Yeah, try to put on presentation mode.
Yes, I think it takes time. Yeah, is it clear now?
Yeah, it looks nice. Perfect.
Yeah, good morning
Thanks.
for all of our colleagues. Let me present the Syrian activities regarding the 5 pillars of GSP instead of our vocal point, Dr. Manal Al-Zubi, because he unfortunately had to leave for another meeting. I'm Dr. Riham Zahalan. I'm also proud to be the vice chair of NINA Labs. I will share with you some of our activities regarding the common interests between us and GSP in the Syrian lands. For Pillar 1, we actually implementing several researches that focus on soil health, and they study to study the role of the organic carbon in soil, especially by adding organic fertilizer, biochar, and biofertilizers. We are on our way to prepare the national map of soil organic carbon and the carbon sequestration map in the coordination with the Arab Center for Arid and Semi-Arid Regions. We also produced the national labs for the most suitable areas to implement the conservation agriculture in order to help the decision makers to take a decision about this important type of agriculture. We're also implementing the new methods for strategic groups, not only as researchers, but also in the association with farmers at field. For example, there is with agriculture, the laser leveling after the rehabilitation of the machines were existed in Syria for a better efficiency for soil and water resources. We also produced the manual for fertilizing and for types of local fertilizers, the methods of ads and the amounts in order to help the farmers to save a cost maybe more efficient use of fertilizers, especially the mineral fertilizers. We also have under the Pillar 2 regular training with the Association of IO Syria about the right and correct ways and the available methods and tools for natural resource assessment. We also have a regular training on the most important topics related to soil, like soil erosion, the tools and methods for example, the available remote sensing tools for measure and avoid and protect the soil erosion, the soil organic carbon and carbon sequestration, as well as the soil pollutions, the areas and the possible solutions. Also, we always had a regular training, especially with farmers, about the recycling of organic waste in order to save our resources. Since the establishment, we are ensure and very committed to our work with GSP, and we also glad to celebrate the World Soil Day with our colleagues, whether as workshops or maybe field works, field days. And we also invite the other associations in the Syrian lands like ACSAD to celebrate this day with us to raise the awareness about the importance of soil. For example, for the 2021, we had an international conference in association with ECSAT that raised the awareness about organic carbon. We also help in preparing for civil and policy briefs, and publications were finished by GSP. We are glad now to prepare to implement the soil organic doctor in association with FAO Syria. And under Pillar 3, we are trying to implement new researches about the local Syrian halophytes, and also the implementing new researches that can measure or help us to change the values that obtained for soil salinity, and to give a firm or a correct values for F factors and the equations to convert the EC or the electrical conductivity was measured by several lab procedures, as we said. And also we are ensure to share the Syrian results of these researches on national and international levels, like the Syrian case study in the association with the GSP in 2021. For Pillar 4, we have finished the pre-estimation to determine about the gaps, the challenges, and the required steps to build our national soil information system. We also, with the assistance of remote sensing, to implement this new technology, and to help us in predicting, mapping, and all these topics. We also identify the priorities and started the work on a new soil map of soil classification and a new land use on the national level. We also, under Pillar 5, we are glad to contribute in harmonization of several methods was published and produced by GSP, whether as labs or members of working group, and we are still in progress. We also helped in translated in the translation in the Arabic for several SOPs, and we requested for more. We also implemented these new methods in our internal training in the Syrian labs, which was produced by Glossolan. And as you see from the picture, for example, this is from the last BT was held by Glossolan. Our labs tried both methods, and some of them changed their common methods to the methods was produced by GSP. We're also very glad to be trainers with the GSP to implement training sessions on some produced SOPs, especially for the electrical conductivity, saturated base, soil extract, and to share these training sessions with our colleagues. We are sharing the links for Arabic and English sessions for interests and experts all around the NENA region and the world. And we also implemented these SOPs in our training, as you can see from the picture, as well as not only the SOPs, but we have also trying to implement some simple maintenance and a lot about quality control for the soil labs. We were very glad also to contribute in the international proficiency test, which is now under progress by Glossolan. 6 of our Syrian labs were contributed in the BT. 2 of them are finished and 4 under progress. We also ensure to raise the awareness about quality control and the importance of this issue by contributing to a national proficiency test, which is in association with the International Agency by Atomic Energy. We have finished the level 1 and level 2, and the level 3 for soil samples is under progress, which might be held by the next month, I guess. We also in progress to establish the Syrian National, which is the most brand new issue on the table. We are glad to finish half the way. We identified the laboratories that might share this interest with us to be contributed and registered in Glossolan and the National. We are preparing for our first meeting, and we are very interested to share and update you about this National in the very soon. Thank you for allowing me to dispute the order of the presenter. Thanks for our colleagues from Palestine for his generosity, and thanks for all for listening.
Dr. Iham, thanks for the updates. And let me tell you that to you and all the other presenters that when your national network will be organizing its first meeting, to please inform us, because Lucrezia will be happy to support the organization of the event, and we can even participate to introduce you more about GSP and Glosolan, and we can involve the FO offices and the focal point of your country to the meeting. So
Yes. Yeah, actually, Filippo, we have conducted all the soil labs that works in the Syrian labs in different associations, and we took their yeses to share this interest with us. And when we decide about the first meeting, I will inform you for sure.
Yeah, thanks. And it's, of course, this is a message to all other countries in the region. When your national soil laboratory network will start organizing the activities and start moving towards the establishment of the nation, of the launch meeting of the national, of the national network, please inform us so we can further support. But this, of course, is an activity in the hands of the national reference about the country, and we are within Glosolan, we are strictly in contact with them together with the support of Mr. Zouari, the chair of Linear Lab. So thanks a lot. I will now give the floor to the colleagues of Palestine, unless colleagues from Oman are present, but I don't see anyone from Oman. I don't know if Mr. Ahmad Al-Touli is here.
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So I will give you the floor first, please.
Oh, to me?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Anyway, I will not follow the system with the pillars. I will speak about mainly the main activities and some activities around, so I will not put them in the same orders. I hope that will be fine. No, I already hear that you're already going to change the way of presenting and even telling the activities, and we are not going to follow the banners no furthers. Okay, so I'm following the same manner. And in that, I would like to speak about the main activity we are doing with the GSP. And maybe if I could share our screen, I could show you something like, I will start that we already having a progress with, is that could be shared?
Yes, please, you can share your screen. Yeah, it's loading.
I will share something like,
okay.
Most of the papers I have is not in a PowerPoint. It's I already taking something from the mails about our activities and I put them in words. So anyhow, the main thing we are doing is that we have something, we did a good work with global soil organic carbon maps. And of course there is a training course. And after that, there is, there is a national consultant be nominated for Oman, to be involved in two activities mainly, and not exactly in two activities, in three activities. So the first activity is about the carbon sequestration map. And in that, there is a good progress on it. And then there is, I could mention the progress where they are already that this is the last report speaking about what are the activities being done in that regards with our national consultants. Our national consultant is Dr. Malik Al-Wardi, and he is belongs to the Sultan Qaboos University. And he is, of course, an expert in this field. And in that, they already starting that. Dr. Malik decided, if I could a little bit highlight this year, he decided to renew the SAS map of Oman with the new inputs, profile data. And of course, they will be, we have long projects being done to two agricultural activities area in Oman, which is in the north and one in the south. And there is a document that study was being conducted in 1990 to 1993, and there is other from 1994 to 1997. And there is a lot of profile being done and a lot of analysis being done. And they are going to utilize these for the carbon maps. And plus on that, there is also the soil activity, soil affected lands map. And in the same manner, the same activities are being running in the same way. And there is, of course, a good progress in that regard, and with conducting with the people involved from the GSP experts. Addition to that, I would like to speak about what Oman is progressing, and I would like here to speak about something else. It's about assessment of the soil lab, or soil and lab in Oman. And of course, there is also here a project being conducted. Let me, of course, there is an assessment being done. So where is the assessment training program, and here the Oman assessments. And of course, this there is done that assessment because of Corona. Then these activities being done in a Zoom call, and it was for 3 days, 15, 16, and 17 of November. And of course, it's included not only one lab, the main lab here in our research stations, and of course, 4 other labs in a different area in Oman. I could name them Salala, Suhar, Ahla, and Kamil. And there is a participant from all of those labs. And of course, there is clear documents, photos, videos, showing all of these to the expert who did the assessment. And later on, there is a big report about exactly how is the case of all of these labs and how they are running. And of course, all of this detail being reported, reported in fact, and what exactly we are doing, what are our capabilities, what is our strength, weaknesses, what is our threat and opportunities. So this is, of course, part of the reports that been conducted about that, which I think this will be a good models to go for other country and do the same. In this regard, there is that it's not the end of the story. There is a training programs is being now in discussion to be conducted. And this is mostly about the training aspects, which should be conducted for, and for how many days, what exactly we're going to speak about. And there will be a meeting supposed to be, by the way, today, but it's being postponed because, of course, there is a complexion. I mean, there is some technical issue about, it's not exactly, it's about coordination issue, about putting up in a good times with all the participants, and this will be solved easily, and this will be, of course, discussed in the coming days soon. And then training programs for the people in the lab will be set up, and then there will be, of course, we are waiting for an expert from, of course, FAO, and for sure it's and one of us belongs to GSP experts to become, and all of those things be conducted in a proper way. So this is another issue. I could speak, of course, about other type of things being done here, something like for soil doctors, there is, of course, an official letter coming from the FAO office in Oman to our ministry, and we are asked to be officially participating on it, and this is going now in process to put the focal point and to put the people who are really have to be involved in that things. Today, there is something else I could speak about in the national levels. Today there is a meeting, and unfortunately it's exactly started in the same time as these meetings, and that's why I could not be in there. But of course, I sent my colleagues to be involved, and it's in the national level where the Ministry of Higher Education and Research Councils is coming up with an idea to build up what they call it, of course, everything in Arabic, but I could translate it in the way that there will be a database, a national database for labs, and it's under the umbrella, as I said, of Ministry of Higher Education and Research Council. So we are. I could consider our participation is an active participation in all of those things, and I'm looking forward to the things to be better and better. It's good to tell that we are now in a new era of our government in totals and our ministry in particulars, where Of course, there is a new His Majesty now coming up from 2 years, and then there is something within reconstructing the ministries, and we have a sector which is the water resources now involved with us, and many other inside reconstructing the section and the departments, and there is a lot of movement between the peoples and the new employees coming up. So we are waiting for new peoples to come up in our soil labs and also in our soil and water research centers here, and many other activities coming up in a Britain way and a good lighting way, and we are looking forward in a very optimistic way. So this is what I could tell here, and thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Al-Douli, for the updates on Oman. This was very useful, I think. And again, if there are any remarks on questions on the experience shared by other colleagues, please, you can write in the chat. I'm pretty sure they will be happy to answer and share their email address in case you want to know more about that. So thanks again, Mr. Al-Douli. I kindly ask you and all the other presenters who didn't share with me the presentation yet to please share with me the material you presented so we can keep track of it and we can make it available online after the meeting.
Okay, no problems.
Okay.
I will put my emails for anything. If anyone would like to have any clarification about anything, we could, of course, be in contact. Thank you a lot.
Thanks a lot to you. Next one, next country in the list is Palestine, and finally I will give the floor to Mr. Imad Ghanma.
Okay, thank you, Philip,
Thanks to you.
for your argument as well as for my colleagues from the NINA area. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's visible. Could you please put it in presentation mode?
Okay.
It looks nice. Thanks.
Actually, I will start my presentation from this slide, from the soil map, just to confirm that here in Palestine, up to now, we don't have national soil survey map, and we are actually using Israeli, what's called Israeli Soil Association map. And during global soil partnership, we convert in cooperation with other colleagues in FAO and ISRIC to convert the Israeli Soil Association map to WRB 2010. Regarding the activities under global soil partnership and other donors, actual, we have several what's called projects or programs implemented now in Palestine. We have what's called land development program. The aim of this program to improve the land productivity by conducting several interventions inside the agricultural land, such as removing small rocks, building terraces in the sloping area, cleaning the soil from the stones, fencing, increasing blood density, and providing systems for the farmers for supplementary irrigation to increase their productivity. In the last year, actually, more than 420 hectares were rehabilitated by MOA and other related NGOs working on the ground. The second program, it's called land reclamation programs. Actually, the aim of this program is to increase the agricultural area here in Palestine, because actually we have very limited agricultural area in Palestine because of confiscation of the majority of land by Israeli occupation, by Israeli occupation. Last year, we reclaimed around 170 hectares. Actually, this images shows the type of reclamation used in the area. Also, another very important program, what's called Conservation Agriculture Program, yearly in the Ministry of Agriculture and another NGOs, especially funded by ICARDA and IFAD. We have conservation agriculture aims to introduce minimum tillage and agriculture conservation principles to the farmers by supporting the farmers with a sowing machine and the suitable seeds for their actual. We consult the farmers to choose the type of seeds that they are going to plant for the year, taking into consideration the crop rotation in this regard. And it's worth to mention that the Ministry of Agriculture and other NGOs actually modified the traditional sowing machine to be fit with the conservation agriculture. This component actually was in cooperation with ICARDA in Jordan. The main activities implemented under Pillar 2 actual, as usual, we are participating, or we participated in INSA annual meeting and other events held virtually under Global Soil Partnership. Also under the TCP project, we had online meeting with MOA, NGO, and soil experts here in Palestine to introduce the project objectives and the main outputs of the TCP project. Also the three participants from Ministry of Agriculture participated in soil affected soil mapping and soil organic sequestration mapping training held last month in February 22. Also, assessment of Nablus Central Lab was started last month by conducting 2 online meetings between FAO consultant and the lab staff. The training of the technical staff will be start, I think, soon, maybe in the beginning of the next month, as we scheduled the national consultant. Also, we have a regular meeting here in Palestine between the Ministry of Agriculture and the main stakeholders who are working in land and soil management, aimed to increase the coordination and to avoid duplications of the work on the ground. Also, we have several meetings with the farmers aimed to improve their skills in land rehabilitation and land reclamation, in addition to conservation agriculture, to follow the principles of conservation agriculture. Regarding the activities under Pillar 3, we are going to participate in the abstract called Conservation Agriculture Practices under Changes of Soil Organic Carbon. This is a case study held in Jenin. The abstract will be presented in the National Conference Zero Greenhouse Emission. This conference will be held in Denmark, in Copenhagen, from 3 to 5 May next 2022. Also, we are here in the Ministry of Agriculture, member of technical committees for several projects working on the field of water productivity in sea-to water harvesting, livelihood projects, and similar projects. We are following the sustainable soil management and sustainable land management in these projects. Also here in the Ministry of Agriculture, we participated in water harvesting and conservation agriculture policy briefs prepared under actual Global Soil Partnership. Under Pillar 4, in cooperation with FAO, soil organic carbon of Palestine was produced, and here I will take a chance to thank Isabel for the great job and the great support Palestine to produce this map. Representative soil sampling covered around 65 hectares were collected and analyzed to monitor soil fertility status and build of soil organic carbon under conservation agriculture practices. held in 3 locations in 3 governorates, one in Jenin Governorate and in Nablus and in Hebron area. As a part of water productivity project, this project funded and implemented under FAO in cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture here in Palestine. This is a regional project. Also, representative soil samples to study the soil characteristics and soil fertility in palm trees covered around 20 hectares in Jordan Valley. Also, soil samples to study soil characteristics and soil fertility in olive trees orchard covered 5 hectares in Ramallah area. This map, actually, this is the produced soil organic map, which was produced last year. Again, thanks for Isabel for their great support. And this is kind of soil parameters that held and conducted in the national lab for the previous project, what I mentioned. Also, these pictures for our staff in different areas for taking soil samples. The activities under Pillar 4, actual Palestine is a member of the Glosolan and the NINA Soil Lab network with 4 soil laboratories, 1 governmental soil lab followed to the Ministry of Agriculture. And recently, in cooperation with the Filippo, we have soil laboratory of Birzeit University. Actually, this Birzeit is already from the last year or from 2 years before. It is a member of Glosolan. Recently, Al-Najah University and the soil lab in Al-Najah University became also a member of Glosolan. And actually, we are waiting the official confirmation from Al-Quds University to be a member, because they are willing to, after my discussion with them, they are willing to be a member, but actually we didn't receive a confirmation from them to be a member of Glosolan. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Imad. I think it was a very nice, you provided a very nice overview of the activities in the country. If there is any comment for Imad and colleagues from Palestine, please I invite you to write in the chat or to raise your hand. Next country in my list is Saudi Arabia, but I'm not sure if Mr. Hussein Fahd Al-Ajmi is present in this meeting. I don't see it in the list of participants. Neither for Sudan. Is Noah here? Mrs. Noah Abdallah Kamis. I think they have some connection issues. In this case, I will give the floor to Tunisia. If Mrs. Leila Bendaya is okay, Leila,
I'm here.
over to you.
Okay, I will try to share my screen. It's okay?
Yes, is it visible? Can you put in presentation mode, please?
Yeah. So,
perfect, thanks.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm Leila Bendieb from Tunisia. I'm focal point of GSP Tunisian focal point, and I'm working in Directorate of Soil Resources. So, for the main activity implemented under the Pillar 1 soil management, by its attribute, our institution, Directorate of Soil Resources, excuse me. Directorate of Soil Resources of Ministry of Agriculture of Tunisia involved in several programs and projects to implement activities in soil management. And the main are, the first one, the project of development of irrigated area through the development of value chain, PVPI-DCV, under the activity to improve agricultural productivity in irrigated area. The first phase was the diagnostic of soil condition is finalized and concern 7,827 hectares, and the extension and modernization works is under execution to concern another 160 hectares also. The second partnership is with the National Institute of Feed Crop, INGC, and its objective to promote the rational use of phosphate fertilizer in field crop and to enhance acceptation and adoption of conservation agriculture. The third one is another partnership with the Office of Livestock and Pasture, OIP, for the management and improve the quality of the pasture with the aim to develop the strategy of forage legume and pastoral resource and the multiplication of seeds by installing pilot plot about 30 hectares involving in 24 breeders. The fourth activities within the framework of the National Strategy of Climate Change, Strategy Low Carbon and Neutrality and Resilience to Climate Change, the creation of land use work team in the sectoral AFLU in the framework of greenhouses inventory, and the instauration of good soil management practices in the low carbon neutrality and resilience strategy. Under the activity implemented in the Pillar 2, awareness rising, awareness activity in terms of soil management to monitor soil salinity and organic fertilization have been conducted, especially in Zarouane. It's a region in the northeast of Tunisia. And of course, that celebration of World Day under the theme of soil salinity was done in December 8th. And moreover, it was opened by the Ministry of Agriculture and the representative of FAO RNE Tunis. And the main activity implemented in the Pillar 3 research, in addition to programs of valorization of farm waste, compost, so some experience are carried with the coordination of the Olive Institute to use oil mill waste water as organic amendment, especially in sandy soil. And there is another collaboration with the National Center of Cartography and Remote Sensing, le CNST, and the National Research Institute for Rural Engineering, Water and Forestry in Grève, and our directorate is in phase of finalization procedure for the acquisition of spectroradiometer for the establishment of a spectral library of Tunisia soil, and also it's worth to mention that our DRS team has participated in various webinar sessions organized by GSP Grossland Spec dealing with soil spectroscopy. And the main activity implemented in the Pillar 4, which deal with the information and data, the implementation of TCP RAB 3802 project titled Capacity Development for the Sustainable Management of Soil Resources in MENA region to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And as part of its activity, we assist in the virtual training on mapping salt soil affected, and the training, virtual training on SOCSEC mapping, and the recruitment of an expert mapping for support us to achieve national maps. On the other hand, and in the above mentioned programs, several training sessions for capacity building on mapping and remote sensing tools. The main activity implemented in the Pillar 5 regarding harmonization of method of analysis, regarding the harmonization of the method of soil analysis, the participation of le Laboratoire Central d'Analyse de Sol, LVCAS, technician, in the different activity implemented by Grossland and Rossland. The laboratory take part of networking of harmonization of soil analysis and has received 10 test soil sample, and also the recruitment of an lab expert to assist us, and the first phase of diagnostic is done. And thank you for listening.
Thanks a lot, Leila, for the nice presentation on the activities implemented in your country. I will now ask again colleagues from Lebanon, Fatima Beidoun, if you succeed if you could please send me the presentation so I can.
I send it to you.
I receive only the agenda, not the presentation. I think you put the wrong attachment.
No, I send it again.
I didn't receive. Could you please try?
I send it to you.
Can you please send again, because I didn't receive it?
I will just, if you want, I can read it here from my computer, and then I will send it again.
But can you display now? Because it would be nice to share the presentation during your contribution. Can you display it from your device?
Right.
Hmm? Can you please send me again the presentation?
I send it.
Can you share the screen?
I don't know. Is it okay?
Are you sharing your screen?
No, I send it to you by mail.
But I didn't receive any mail from you. Just one with the agenda attached.
Oh my God.
Can you please try again? Sorry.
Sorry. I'm very sorry. I sent it many times. Yeah. It appeared to me that's I don't know. There is nobody here in the IT to support me. Let me. Can you go on with another, or I can talk to my.
We can
from
wait.
My.
Because okay, this is the last your
Oh,
last one to
go
present.
another.
Okay,
I
we'll
don't know
give the
what
floor
to
maybe
do.
to the next item, and before the closure, we can try
Yeah.
again.
Let me go to the IT support if they can do something.
Yeah, we'll write again my email address in the chat, so you can double check if you send it to the right address, maybe. Well, the next one is next one in the agenda is United Arab Emirates, but unfortunately the representatives is not present today, the country focal point, but he sent us a video, but I'm facing issue to display it. So while we are waiting to solve this issue again, because Mr. Bayan Mahmoud Atmeh sent us a video from an activity implemented in the United Arab Emirates, which he gently asked us to display. Unfortunately, I am facing issues with my computer to display, so I asked my colleague Isabel, who is currently downloaded it. In the meantime, I would like to share with you the message that we received from the focal point of the United Arab Emirates, Bayan, about this video. So the focal point is from the Environmental Agency of Abu Dhabi. So it will be the video will be displayed is about the technology, the cutting-edge technology of remote sensing and drones that the Environmental Agency of the United Arab Emirates is performing to monitor, assess, and map soil quality with the incorporation of the use of artificial intelligence models and to analyze data, find relations and patterns, identify and forecast soil quality scenarios. The first phase of the project was completed successfully last year in 2021, and a technical report was published, which can be considered as a reference on using drones and artificial intelligence in soil quality monitoring. In 2022, so now the second phase of the drones project will attempt to build on top of the methodology developed in the first phase and expand on all parameters to scale the scope of the project. So the idea is that we can take advantage of this video, of this experience from the colleagues in the United Arab Emirates. So I think it will be very useful for you. You can maybe try to contact them if interest to replicate and adapt this initiative to your country. Isabel, I don't know if you succeed in sharing, downloading the video, because I have an issue. My video player is not working. So I'm not sure if you succeed in downloading the video, Isa.
Yes, hello, Filippo.
Hello.
Everybody. Another 30 seconds.
Okay, good.
So,
sorry, but I don't know why like my window like media player is not working. So we will show this very short video, 3 minutes, and I think you will all appreciate this kind of initiative under pillar 3, basically, because it's about research, but it's also related to mapping, to data quality. And so Fatima, you want to speak? Did you succeed? Fatima, I see you have the hand up.
I send it by mail because I am opening from another device. Can you share it from me?
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't receive any email from you. I don't know why.
I don't know. That's I don't know.
I'm sending you in the chat another email address, my private email address. Can you try with that, please?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
I send it already. It's sent. I asked the IT support. They told me it's sent.
Yeah, I send you another email address. Maybe there is an issue with the previous address I sent you. So I send you by private chat here another email address. Can you try with that, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
In
In the
meantime,
meantime,
Lisa,
I can
please.
share my screen. Huh?
Thanks.
Yes.
بدأت هيئة البيئة أبو ظبي بمشروع مراقبة جودة التربة في عام 2018 ضمن استراتيجيتها الخمسية وضمن الأولوية الخاصة بالحفاظ على جودة التربة واستخدامات الأراضي من خلال تنفيذ عدد من المبادرات والمشاريع التي تهدف إلى فهم التغيرات الزمنية على جودة التربة.
تنطوي الطرق التقليدية على فحص عينات التربة التي تجمع ميدانياً لتقدير مدى تلوث التربة، وهذا الأمر يستغرق وقتاً طويلاً ويترتب عليه تكاليف باهظة. في المقابل يتيح لنا الاستشعار عن بعد اكتشاف ورصد الخصائص الفيزيائية والكيميائية للتربة خلال وقت قياسي ومن مسافة كبيرة.
من خلال تقنيات الاستشعار عن بعد المتقدمة المستخدمة في هذا المشروع رح تمكننا من التقاط بيانات لا يمكن مشاهدتها بالعين المجردة لتحديد مستويات الملوثات. على سبيل المثال رح نتمكن من التقاط بيانات تحدد لنا مستويات الملوثات العضوية في التربة أو ملوثات العناصر الثقيلة اللي ممكن تكون موجودة في التربة.
Right now we are collecting spectral data from the soil. We are doing it with spectral radiometer that is collecting light reflected by soil from 400 to 2,500 nanometers. The second scale is drone-based remote sensing technology. We are flying with this hyperspectral sensor. This is a full camera with 3 sensors on it. We have a visual and near infrared sensor. We have a shortwave infrared sensor, and we have a laser scanner, all together and coordinated. The third way we are going to collect data in this project is satellite data. The satellite has a large footprint, and we can collect massive amount of data.
Now that we've collected the data, we can take it back to the office and put it all together using innovative machine learning and AI techniques. What this will help do is it will augment the existing soil monitoring program, make it scalable. The results will be highly accurate, it will be repeatable, consistent, and you can do it at a more rapid pace. This innovative approach to soil monitoring will provide value not only to the Environment Agency, but will be a huge achievement for the UAE.
أحد أهم المجالات يهتم فيها فريق التفتيش هو جودة التربة، ومن خلال هذا المشروع استخدام الطائرات بدون طيار لمسح التربة واستخدام الذكاء الاصطناعي سيساهم كثيراً في تغطية مجالات أو مساحات كبيرة، يساهم في مراقبة نوعية وجودة التربة.
حالياً تم الانتهاء من تنفيذ المرحلة الأولى من هذا المشروع، حيث تم استهداف مواقع محددة في منطقة المصفح الصناعية في إمارة أبو ظبي، ومن ثم سيتم التوسع لتغطية المنطقة الصناعية بالكامل على مستوى الإمارة مع نهاية 2022.
This was the video on this pilot project implemented in the United Arab Emirates. Again, the focal point was not able to attend this meeting, but he kindly asked us to share these videos on his behalf. So in case you would like to know more about this initiative in the country, I will write in the chat his email address, so you can further contact him for further information and clarification if interest. Fatma, I'm sorry, but I didn't receive an email from you with your presentation. I don't know if you are able to display the presentation from your device somehow.
I can read my presentation and I will send it to you back again. There is some problem, it seems here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we cannot display. Maybe you can just briefly present the activities.
Can hear me? The other can hear me? Yeah. I am just going to talk about the TCP RAB 3082 in Lebanon, that I am a focal point of it. Okay, I am working in the Ministry of Agriculture, and I am responsible as a coordinator for this project. For the all other projects that are going in Lebanon, I'm not in charge of them, okay? So, the overall aim objective of the project is to achieve environmental and human well-being through sustainable management and soil researches. We are on soil mapping at the starting point. At the starting point for this, we are on the soil mapping stage. Several meetings were done. Several meetings, the training workshop were done. One training on soil organic carbon sequestration, and one training on salinity map. Okay. I'm not can you? I will not continue. I'm not ready yet. I'm tired. Okay. Can I stop?
Yes, because there is some issue with your connection. We cannot hear you properly. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Fatima, if you will find a way to collect your presentation, and all the presentations of today will be published on the meeting webpage, so even other colleagues will have the chance to go through your presentation even after this meeting.
The progress of the project that are going now, we are preparing the set of standard. We have two sets of standard and data. We have two sets, set from 1969 to 2000, and another set of standard 2017 to 2021. Dr. Ralph is going to finalize this standard, and he is going to extract all data necessary and to prepare all soil salinity map and soil organic carbon and soil carbon sequestration map, and learn the best practices, and with collaboration with Mr. Christian in this aspect. Okay. This is what about soil salinity maps and soil carbon sequestration map. The program he is going to be used is QGIS, ArcGIS, IRWIS, and ArcStudio and SADA. Now we are currently evaluating some input data before start final modeling stage for the map, and the expected time to finish the modeling and the export all three maps will be by the end of April. The first draft of national map will be by mid-June, as said by Mrs. Solange, responsible for FAO headquarters. For the extraction of the after finalizing the map, we have Dr. Talal Darwish. He is going as a national consultant. He is going to examine the results, and he is going to finalize the introductory part, and he will explain all related data and what we will get from the data after finalizing it, and he will make a whole study of all soil type and characteristic of Lebanon. Okay, and he is going to help us in the map system with Dr. Ralph Zghaib. The other part will be what they are doing now in the laboratory in Glozoland. We have Dr. Daflalla. He visited all the Lebanese laboratories that are working with Glozoland, and he make a site visit, and they are trained, online training, and they propose a whole training schedule. They start implementing them and harmonizing all the method of analysis, and they are using the standard approved method for analysis, and they are practicing. They didn't finish yet. Okay, have a schedule finish. That's what I have received from the other part. This what we have as this project. For any detail, we can contact later.
That is good, Fatima. I'm sorry again that you were not able to display the presentation. I think there's some issues. Again, all the presentation given today and tomorrow will be published on the meeting webpage under the NINA Soil Partnership webpage. So again, all participants will have the chance to see the slides that you prepared and to further contact you in case of need. Again, I would like to ask if you have any suggestions or remarks on all the presentation given so far. I think all country focal point present today present the updates on soils from their country. If there is anyone who didn't present, please let me know. But I think every country was given the chance to present. If no, I will now give the floor to my colleague, Isabel Verbeek, from the GSP Secretariat, who will update you on the National Soil Partnership and will give you some details as focal point on the GSP, some more clarifications in this regard. So Isabel, please, over to you, and thanks for your participation.
Good morning, good afternoon. So I am Isabel Verbeek, and I'm the communication coordination at the GSP. So we prepare those few slides to somehow clarify the role of the national focal point. I will be brief because there are no new focal points, so I'm sure you know most of it, but I think it's nice to summarize it and share with you the presentation so you can have the link to all the relevant material. So national focal point is here to bring national priorities in the global discussion and engage all the national stakeholders. So a bit of background: in June 2014, at the second plenary assembly meeting, the decision was a proposal was endorsed so that each FAO members had to nominate a national focal point. So this was done to enhance communication and technical exchange between the GSP Secretariat and the country. And here you can see we have a web page that summarizes that indicates all the different country focal point in each country. So you have the background document here for download if you want to take a look. So the focal point is appointed officially by each FAO member. And indeed, if there are any change of focal point, because sometimes the focal point changes position or is retired, so always please let us know officially if there are any change in this regard. So I won't go through that because I'm sure you all know how you were nominated. So the role, of course, the key role is to promote sustainable soil management as indicated in the World Soil Charter. I am sure you know this document. To share and distribute all the communication. I hope you received about 30 minutes ago our newsletter. If not, please let me know so I can add you to the mailing list. So with these bulletins, you receive all the information, and which is of course available on the website. You see here all the symposium. One is coming up, Source for Nutrition in July. So we open, actually today is a call for abstracts, so please check the newsletter and the website. National focal point also have an important role to consolidate the regional soil partnership, and that's the reason why we are here today for the NENA meeting, which is unfortunately it was a physical event, but now everything is virtual. They also have a role to bring all the actors active at the national level, so to bring them together. They are the contact person in the country, and they ensure the coordination between all the different stakeholders dealing with soils. So on the GSP website, you all know that we have a lot of tools, all the working areas. We have the technical network, so you have also an important role in that, and channel the information to the national stakeholders. So there is a wealth of resources under the GSP website. Under resources, you have all the publication, you have all the communication material. We have a number of websites. We have 9 websites actually. So the GSP, Soils Portal, and World Soil Day are the key one, but there is also all the thematic website with the symposium. So so act as a bridge and share material. We're very active on Facebook, Twitter. We have a YouTube channel also where all the video are uploaded. For Twitter, we rely on Ronald Vargas' Twitter account, and Facebook, we have the official GSP Facebook account. Here is just a recap of all the link. So also very important, identify potential new partners. We have over 500 partners. If you see any potential new partners in your country, you can also liaise with them and invite them to become a GSP partner. And of course, subscribe to the newsletter, which I'm sure you already received. World Soil Day, this is the most important day celebrating soil on 5th of December. I'm sure you're very active on that, but you really have a role in that. It's far, it's in December, we are only in March, but still. The 2 prizes, the Glinka World Soil Prize and the World Soil Day Award. So also here you have an important role to eventually identify potential winner for this year celebration, for this year prizes, sorry. But there is also a reverse flow of information that you can also let us know of the key events taking place in your country. Report to us the new development taking place. So national focal point in FAO. So this is a bit of repetition, so I think I will just go through very quickly. Yeah, the role of focal point on the international scene. So you also have a role to promote for the inclusion of soils in national framework, in the international convention, and in all the national commitments on SDG in relation to soils. So I'm sure you received the welcoming package that was sent a few months ago with a key publication and a nice bag. If not, please let us know. Well, this is just to show you who is the regional facilitator within the GSP. So for the NENA, it's Lucrezia and Filippo. We also have a number of technical network. I'm sure you're aware, but here you have the detail of who in the GSP is the focal point for each technical network. And if you go through the newsletter that you just received today, you will see that 22nd of April on Earth Day, we will launch a new network on soil pollution. So, national soil partnership. This is the second part of the presentation. We really encourage national focal point to take a role in eventually implement a national soil partnership. Some countries have developed one. What it is, it comprises all interested and active partners in a country that are willing to contribute to the achievement of sustainable soil management under the framework of the GSP. So you can start now. It's not that it has to be established this year, but it's something that can take a bit of time. But this is the main structural and governance arrangement. So interact with the regional soil partnership and the GSP. You need to develop an action plan. Especially with the one operating at a higher level. You select a secretariat, usually it's a governmental entity or a recognized soil institution, appoint a steering committee and a chairperson. Of course, creating working groups related to the GSP areas of work. It doesn't have to be all the areas of work, but the one that are important for your country. And then organize plenary meeting that embrace all the partners of the national partners of the GSP. Yeah, the arrangement may not necessarily mirror the more elaborate arrangement that are applied to the GSP, but the more it mirrors the best, but it's not compulsory. So here is just a list of the main function. It's not an exhaustive list. Again, you can focus only on a few points and important mobilize financial resources to implement the national implementation plan. So what is the first step here? I've just put pictures when it was in the IUSS Congress in Rio, when the Brazilian Soil Partnership was created. So the first step is to conduct an inventory of all the stakeholders in your country, organize a meeting of the key with the key stakeholders to identify the national priority action, agree on the establishment and the structure of the NSP that I just explained before, and to draft implementation plan. And finally, finalize and implement the plan. So you can see here, we are now working on this webpage. It's under regional partnership, national soil partnership, and we are now trying to harmonize the content, and in a few weeks we will launch this. And some countries, they also have their own web page. So of course we will provide a consistent set of content that will link to the web page when there is a web page. So here, yeah, that's there is no national partnership at the moment for your region. So this is just some question that we have draft to get the information. But I think I will just stop here, and I'm available for any question. And of course, Filippo and Lucrezia will share the presentation so that you can have access to all the different links.
Thanks a lot, Isabel, for your presentation. Is there any question for Isa for Isabel regarding the presentation she just gave? Rashid, yes, I see that you raise your hand, please.
Thank you, Isabel, for this nice presentation. I have just a question about this national soil partnership. Maybe I'm not aware, but did we discuss it during the last assembly, or it's new items that we need maybe to discuss during the next assembly in May? Because for me, this is new. We discuss it, can I say, not officially, But if we want to launch it, maybe we need to have some rules and how we will implement this in the region. And I don't think that we get enough time to discuss how we will do this at national level. Maybe I don't know if you have any feedback about this question.
I'm sharing here the screen. Yeah, actually, if you go here under regional soil partnership, you will find here the tab national soil partnership. I will take, for example, you see here in Ukraine, they developed the Ukrainian soil partnership quite some time ago. They are very organized. They follow the same pillar approach, which is
maybe you have choose the wrong country now.
Yeah, I know,
but so
yeah, it's because but they are the one that really, as you can see, they have been progressing a lot for the creation of their national soil partnership. There are some guidance documents here also that can definitely help you, but Lucrezia and Filippo, they are the focal point too. But to discuss this and see how to establish it, it takes some time. It's not something very fast, of course, but it was discussed. I can't remember now, but it was discussed I think at the plenary assembly maybe of 2 years ago. I would need to check.
Please we have to check, because with this new framework of the GSP, where we will move from pillars to items, I'm not sure that if we involve stakeholders now at this stage, and we will present under this recent format that we have under 5 pillars, and next year we come and we say no, we will move from this framework to new framework. I think maybe we need to discuss it a little bit in the NINA, and to see how we can start developing this in pilot countries. But again, if we can say what we have to share with our stakeholders. Is the 5 pillars framework, or the next one that you will start, I think, earlier this year?
Yeah, no, well, for the moment, indeed, it's better to wait for the next plenary assembly and say what partners and members will say. But you can start already, at least identify the actors and the key areas to focus on, and then in the second term of this year. But this exists, and this is important, and we really want to focus, because some countries really did a great job, and it has to be shown and illustrated.
Okay. Maybe we'll discuss it during the assembly, how we can implement this in our region. But I prefer to do it through the new framework, because if we go to using the pillars, and after we come and we say we have to change, it will not be so easy to be understood by stakeholders, mainly in the region. So this is
I agree.
my only comment. But thank you again for Isabel for all the work that you did, and it's very wonderful work. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Rashid, for your comment. I see there is an hands up from Atia Rafla. You want to take the floor?
Thank you, Filippo. Thank you, Isabel. Just a small comment, because there's maybe in some countries they have already strategy for sustainable soil management, or they have a strategy that they followed. And what we used to formulate national action plan in the framework of GSP. Maybe there be
interference between the two concepts, the strategy of national strategy and action plan proposed by GSP. So maybe we need to be careful or to find how we can formulate this action plan to avoid to have synergy or competitivity between the two programs.
No, I understand.
You understand me? Did you understand me or not?
Sorry?
Did you understand what I want to say?
No, I fully understand. No, absolutely. Yes. Thank you for that. No, competitivity, definitely not. I think it needs flexibility so that the national context is reflected in the action plan, which of course cannot be applied at the global level. So no, flexibility for sure.
Yes. So we should to find a way how to interest decision maker and to introduce national action plan elaborated by GSP. This is you have to find a way and to interest decision makers. So this is the point we need to focus on. Yes.
No, absolutely. I fully agree. But the national action plan should be defined by the country, not by us. I mean, that's for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Satya and Rashid, for your comments. Is there someone else who would like to comment on this item or make a question directly to Isabel? Otherwise, maybe I'm pretty sure everyone has your email address. Maybe you can write it in the chat. So in case of need, they can contact you.
Sure.
Thanks. Well, if there is no other contribution, I would like to give the floor back to Lucrezia to close today's session and invite everyone to tomorrow's session. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Filippo, for moderating the second part of the meeting, and thanks to all presenters. Your presentation were extremely interesting and really triggered our interest and curiosity. As Filippo mentioned, we will publish, as usual, all presentation on the website, on the Nina Soil Partnership website, so that you can download them and go through them anytime. This said, I would like to close the meeting as long as there is no one else that would like to take the floor. And congratulations to us because we finished in time, which is a great achievement. And we meet tomorrow for discussing a last time about the pillars of action, defining our work plan, and also learning a bit what is coming up soon on the status of the World Soil Resources Report 2025. So I would like to thank you all, and we see each other tomorrow at the same time. Thank you very much.